Well, it is a beautiful day here at Adams County Fairgrounds. We left the wet and soggy Vandermeer Raceway about 30 miles ago, and we're here for the sled pulling portion of the 2015 Diesel Power Challenge presented by XDP. The crew has been working very hard to get the pulling course set up here at the Adams County Fairgrounds. The reason is you can see behind me how wet it is. It's been very, very wet here. This is a sandy soil, so it does drain. They had a road grader out here. They cut into the soil level. They got a nice track out there, and there is a very moist, packed down track. So in reality, there should be some pretty good traction for these trucks. Every competitor gets one chance, only one shot to pull the weighted sled as far as they possibly can. All right, so it will be LaVon Miller, the first truck up. You see the green lights flashing on the sled. That red flag being held by the starter will soon be replaced with a green one. The course is wet. And here comes LaVon Miller, and he is way hard in the throttle. You're pedaling the truck early in the run here. Now he is up on the rev limiter, and he is making big steam here, trying to control the wheel speed. Look at the head of steam he's got coming across the line, and man, a pull of just past 300 feet for LaVon Miller. A good run there. And the truck's a little bit warm. You can see the little coolant coming out of the front of it. Talk to me about the run. It sounds like you're really having to modulate the throttle in there.
Yeah, the track's super loose, so I was just trying to keep from beating it up. Kept hitting like 4,500 RPM. I tried to keep it around 4,000, and there at the end I just pinned it.
Yeah, you had a good head of steam on you there, and then obviously the pan situation came into play, and down you went.
Yep, it hits really hard, and when the track's this soft, it stops you pretty quick.
Well, cool. Congratulations. A very good way to open up the pulling session.
Great, thanks.
All right, so the next truck up is going to be Jared Rice. Rice is now hooked to the sled down there, and if there's one thing that hurt him in the drag strip that may help him here is that the weight of this truck, 8,900 pounds, according to Jared. And they wrenched on this thing after exploding a turbo in the drag strip for the sole purpose of being able to get out here and pull it. Runs in the work stock class, so there's a stock appearing engine in there with a whole bunch of work done to it. Here comes Jared Rice. Oh, man. Look at that thing work, the big dually Ford. He has got a huge head of steam as he comes through three-quarter. Look at him. Jared Rice is going to pull way past where LaVon Miller stopped. Wow. A very nice controlled run there for the big dually Ford of Jared Rice. Well, Jared Rice, that was a very impressive-looking run out there. The truck totally under control. Miller was on and off the throttle, but, man, this thing was just dug in and rolling.
Yeah, we've got a lot of – this is the 179th pass on this truck. Wow. So first on the new motor and everything, and first time I've ever sprayed nitrous to it. So it reacted how I wanted it to.
Very cool. We'll get the number here in a minute, but you were in real estate that Javon Miller only wished he could have been in, so you're in a good spot down here.
That's what I was hoping for. We've had a bad week, and hopefully this will make us feel better going back home.
Thanks, man. And it's Iowan Bill Witters will be the third truck to hook to the sled, the third truck in our second dually. We will see how Bill does. He is not an experienced puller. This, in fact, may be the first time he has ever done anything with a sled hook behind this truck. Hopefully ready to go. Light that baby off. And he is underway. Gently feeding the power into it. And Witter's just going to muscle the thing down there. Well, did you have fun this week?
Yeah.
Good group of guys and certainly a neat group of trucks. It was great to have the big GMC out here competing with everybody. Thanks for being out here.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, man.
The course is open for Jaron Holder from Kentucky in the lightest truck in the field, 6,800 pounds. And for as much as that heavyweight worked for Jared Rice, this lightweight is going to be working against Jaron Holder. Watch what happens at the end of the course if he gets that far when the pan hits on the sled, because it is going to stop this thing dead in its tracks. Jaron starts to feed the power to it. Oh, the truck bouncing very violently, trying to keep a head of steam up. And Jaron, that light truck, going to start to dig in right about now, and I don't know if he's going to make do. He's going to dig in right there. So Jaron Holder, not a bad effort, but does not put himself in the real estate with everybody else. Well, Jaron Holder, the truck built mostly for drag racing, right? Not really built as a pulling machine.
No, not at all. Not at all. Didn't have the weight, and I didn't get enough boost at the beginning either. So
is that what the kind of were you trying to manage the power?
I really should have let out. Stupid move on me.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been really fun watching this truck all week. Put up a heck of an effort, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. So it's Buck Stoneburner coming out now. It's kind of a surprise to see Stoneburner here. He had a driveline failure at the drag strip. They thrashed on it, and a mere couple hours later, he has the truck hooked to the sled here at Adams County Fairgrounds. So a busy afternoon for Buck Stoneburner. Now we get to see this Cummins-powered Dodge rip its way down the pulling course.
He's only in too well.
And something on the starting line causing some folks to throw their hands up, and Buck is going to climb out of the truck and look underneath. Not sure what exactly he is looking under there for. Now, they were working, I believe they were working on the transmission at the drag strip. It was an output shaft failure at the drag strip that stopped the truck cold on the starting line. And in the scheme of things, as you can imagine, the fact that they got it fixed in a couple hours will let you know that an input shaft failure would have ended his weekend almost certainly, or his week almost certainly, but the output shaft failure, a much easier fix. But now he is under the truck, maybe finishing the job. I'm not sure what he's doing under there. And Buck is back in the cab of the truck. We are ready to go. Green flag's flying, or red flag's flying, I should say, on both ends of the course right now. Is the starter going to step back? He raises the green. Finish line flag is green, and it is go time. Very conservative launch here from Buck, and then he goes right to the deck with it. Truck sounds very good. It's chewing up some real estate out here. Buck Stoneburn fighting the front end of the truck as it works its way down, just shy of the nose there, the 300-foot mark. Oh, Buck Stoneburn, it's been a pretty busy afternoon, man. Talk to me about what happened at the drag strip, what you had to do to get this thing ready to pull this afternoon.
It twisted the output shaft off. Levon had a billet one I put in. Here we are.
Cool, man. And talk about the pull a little bit. You came off real conservative, and then you went right to the deck with it.
Well, it started the spools, and then I gave it to it, but then it was over RPM, and so I backed out of it a little bit and then got back in it. When I looked down, I was showing 4,600 RPMs, and this is still VP 44. So.
Yeah, it was screaming pretty good there, but hey, good effort and great week this week, man. Good to see this truck out here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
So here comes Rick Fox as we saw Levon Miller make a very stout pull, and a truck was very fast at the drag strip. Fox has a high horsepower, 6.7, and high torque, obviously, 6.7 liter Cummins in the front of the Ram. It performed very well in the dyno, with Fox actually coming out on top of the dyno portion. Fared very well at the drag strip, qualifying #1, running in the 10s. So we know that power is not a problem for Rick Fox. But there's a lot of elements to truck pulling. We'll see if he's able to apply them. Wow, very aggressive, very early with Fox, trying to get the wheel speed up and just chew his way. And look at Fox to get that bounce going on there, though. Oh, he's got to lift out of it. Punches the throttle again. Oh, violent bouncing, and that, oh man, that ended with a flurry out there. The truck really getting aggressive when the pan hit. You saw it just clawing for the earth, and Fox works his way to a nice pull out here on the course. Well, Rick Fox, that looked like a pretty rough ride at the end of things there.
That was pretty crazy, yeah.
Strategy-wise, seems like you came out and you got into it pretty early. As soon as the thing got some boost behind you, you looked like you just stepped on it.
Yeah, we've got kind of more of a drag radial tire on it, so I knew it was just going to spin and go like hell, so.
Well, cool. It almost looked like the drive shaft broke, but it didn't, obviously. But, man, when that pan hit, it just stopped things.
I think the rear axle broke.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. Well, limper back over the pits. It broke at the right time anyway. You finished the week. You were the big horsepower guy in the dyno, put up big numbers at the drag strip. All in all, a very impressive performance from the Ram.
Yep, thank you.
So here comes Jesse Warren. Warren in the truck that made the final round at the drag strip before the rains came. He was going to try to challenge Levon Miller for the big title at Bandimere, but the rain stopped all of that. This truck is a very, very dedicated drag race setup, much like Rick Fox's was, so we will see how that applies here on the pulling course. Fox's choice of tire was what he thought might have been a detriment. This tire a little bit more aggressive on Warren's truck. We'll see if that helps him out. Another one of our 6-liter competitors, or the second of our 6-liter competitors, has been representing the engine family very well this week. And Warren goes right to the deck. Let's see if he gets on. There's the, oh no, he's on and off the throttle. Man, that thing just banging away there. He's on and off the nitrous. And Jesse Warren just hammers the thing to the finish line. Wow. Well, Jesse Warren, that was flat out hateful looking, man. That was mean stuff. We'll get the number here in a minute, but you're pretty far down the course here. Just strategically, was that just put it on the wood and hang on?
Pretty much. I had to go through the middle bounce there. I do a lot of sled pulling back home, so I tried to throttle just a little bit. As soon as you pull through that midsection, you're usually okay.
I was going to say, it seems you caught it nice because some guys get into that undulation, you can't get out, but you settled the thing down and really just stepped back on it.
Yeah, it's really important not to lift the throttle all the way. You got to keep some load on the truck to let the bounce level out and then lay into it.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, this thing sounded like pure hell when it got down to the finish line, so good work.
Thanks.
If you want to beat somebody here, you got to get up over 300 feet, but somewhere in the mid-290s to put you very close to the top of the pack. Only 2 trucks have crested the 300-foot barrier so far today, and Adkins going to try to make himself the 3rd. That thing is digging. Now he is steering the thing down the course. He has a line he's trying to follow. Seems to be working pretty good. Oh, man, it is bouncing. Truck starts, it starts to dig, and it came to a stop in a hurry at the end there. Right about 300 feet for the edge of the sled. We'll have to check the measurement. Well, Jerry Adkins, you finish up the pull there. A pretty stout run in some real estate out here, but man, it's looked violent at the end.
Oh, it's rough. This track it hooked hard, and I didn't expect it, and I did my best, and hopefully we didn't break nothing.
Did you have to pedal it? The truck did it get to a bounce?
I was trying every way in the world to pedal it, and I just couldn't keep it soft.
Well, you said you felt like something might have broken the back end. You're going to pull around the corner and take a look.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, thanks for this week. It's been great watching this big Cummins truck work.
Thank you.
And so at the close of the very intense sled pulling competition, it was Jared Rice in the big 6.4-liter Ford Dually getting the win at 319 feet of total distance. He bested everybody by almost a full 20 feet. So a great job for the truck that's set up to do exactly what it did today, dominate in the dirt. Well, as is tradition at the Diesel Power Challenge, Thursday always begins at the fuel stop. This is where the competitors will get their tanks topped off, and the measurements will be made to find out how much fuel they've been consuming during the week. This year it's a little bit different than years past in the fact that the competitors' tanks have been sealed by the magazine, and the fills are being made throughout the week as opposed to just one day. It gives a much more accurate measurement of the fuel economy of the trucks through all the different competitions we've had and the street driving they've done. It's a big day because these fuel economy measurements play a big part in determining the winner of the Diesel Power Challenge. Well, KJ Jones, as much as the Diesel Power Challenge is about showcasing the power that these trucks make, it also is kind of interesting to showcase the economy as well, and that's kind of what we're getting established here at the fuel stop.
We're here at the fuel stop to top off fuel in a sense. We're trying to see how much these diesels consume as far as fuel when they're under load. They've been dragging 10,000-pound trailers. They've been running up and down a drag strip, going through the obstacle course. We're trying to get some type of measurement of how much consumption there is when you have that much horsepower, you have big boosts, etc. Trying to get that type of, just trying to gauge that.
Not only workhorses, but also trotting horses as well here at the fuel stop.
Unlike years past, the fuel efficiency portion of the Diesel Power Challenge was not measured on one drive, but rather over the course of the week. It ended up being 3 Cummins trucks that prevailed in this challenge. Buck Stoneburner came in number 3, Jerry Adkins was number 2, and LaVon Miller once again claimed the top spot in yet another competition at the 2015 Diesel Power Challenge.
You guys ready to find out who got the hardware? Third place was somebody who came in second in the trailer tow obstacle course, second in the drag race, third in the sled pull, and overall was pretty consistent throughout the event. Out of a possible 100 points with 65.65, Jesse Warren. In second place, I won't tell you what he came in first in because you guys all know who got second place. I'll go backwards. Came in third place in the drag race. Came in second place in the 8th mile trailer tow. Came in first place in the dyno, Rick Fox. I don't know if you guys can guess who the first place winner of this year is. This has never happened in the history of Diesel Power Challenge where somebody dominated so much. This person had 2 second place finishes and 4 first place finishes, earning 96.97 out of 100 points. Levon Miller!
Well, Levon Miller, one more time, we're standing up here together. The most dominating performance in the history, the 10-year history of this event. I don't have words for it, do you?
Very grateful. We worked our butts off, and we put together a truck that works at elevation, and it paid off.
You seem to be a guy who approaches this almost with a system. I mean, I think you seem to have a very detailed approach to this event. Is that just me thinking that, or is that the truth?
No, definitely. I definitely try to have a strategy for every event. That's what's key. You got to think it out and try to figure out what the other guys are going to do and how are you going to beat them, and try to find a balance between it all. And that's try to run a marathon to where you're steady all the way through.
How much time do you spend pulling your hair out trying to build an all-around truck? Because obviously this thing tests pretty much every aspect. So when you think you got one thing cornered, you're kind of stealing from something else. So how do you balance that?
Spend a lot of money. It really is. It costs a fortune, but that's part of it. I mean, you're not going to have something great without spending some money on it. But it's more than just you can spend all the money in the world and not have an awesome rig. It's well thought out, buying good parts that are proven, and reaching out to people in the industry that are experienced in different areas in drivetrain and axles, et cetera, and then you eliminate some of the trial and error that costs you a bunch of money. So we've been fortunate to really we invested about $20,000 in the truck we have this year from what we did last year with the new engine build and et cetera. So.
Well, I know it was a pleasure on my behalf to watch the thing work this week. Congratulations. You get a bunch of rowdy buddies and crew guys who want to hang out, so we'll let you get back at it. Congratulations, and it's time to start thinking about a three-peat, dude.
I don't even want to think about it right now. I'll start thinking about it in a couple months.
Chug down some monster. Have a good night, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that puts a cap on the 2015 Diesel Power Challenge. But when you think back over the weekend, you think about a guy like Rick Fox dominating the Dyno Challenge. You think about a guy like Levon Miller taking care of business on the trailer towing obstacle course. Fox comes back and wins the 8-mile trailer tow. Then we go drag racing. Levon Miller takes the drag race, and it's kind of rain short, and that got weird. Then we get to the truck pulling course, and Jared lays the hammer down on that big dually Ford, pulls it out the back door to 319 feet, and we get to come back here and celebrate tonight. At the end of the day, it was Levon Miller, the most dominating performance in the history of this event. He leaves with his second cup, and he'll be coming back next year trying to win a third. Oh, a huge starting line advantage for Levon Miller. And Miller not going to work the truck too hard. Knows he has him covered. Miller goes 11:38.6, 122, and Gleason goes 11:72.8 at 121 miles per hour. So Miller, with a big starting line advantage, gets down there without any sweat to knock off J.D. Gleason.